Welcome to Inside the S.O.S. I'm your host, TJ.
And I'm Lauren.
Inside the S.O.S. is a new series where we bring you the latest news and what's happening inside the Southern Offroad Series.
We'll also be introducing new segments on the show, such as Meet the Driver, where we'll be interviewing different drivers throughout the series.
We'll also introduce you to the tracks in the series with highlights of each track, interviews with their owners, and we'll also dive into some history of the S.O.S. and RC racing, from where it's been to where it's at now and where it's heading in the future.
There are a lot of exciting things we have planned for Inside the S.O.S., so please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss out. Please comment as well if there's anything you'd like to see here on Inside the S.O.S.
First thing, we want to give a shout out to all the drivers that finished in the top 3 of their mains in last week's round 2 in Eastleigh, South Carolina.
To interview some great drivers. Our first 2 we spoke with were Creedy Watkins and the father-daughter duo, Mackenzie and Robert Harbuck. Okay, so the first question is, how long have you been into RC?
So I've been doing RC probably about 3 or 4 months right now, so kind of still pretty new.
The second question is, what got you into RC?
Let's see, I probably started out flying like remote control airplanes and kind of got into the whole remote control thing, and then a buddy of mine brought out a car one day that's 70 miles per hour down the straightaway, and I was like, that's cool, so I want to do something like that.
What's your favorite aspect of the hobby?
The first thing I thought would be more like building the cars, I like building the kits and doing the motors and gearbox and the soldering. But the more I get into it, it's more like the people, just talking to different people, getting advice, giving advice to people, helping each other out. That's always a lot of fun.
And then the last question, what vehicle do you run?
What do I like to run? So the favorite car to drive right now is probably my 110 scale Associated 2-wheel drive. Nothing fancy, but it just feels good when I drive it. And then I also have a 1/8 scale 4-wheel drive Associated that I like to run too.
Okay, so the first question is, how long have you been into RC?
Well, he kind of started out running RC when I was probably, I was young, yeah. And he started racing RC cars, and then I got into it when I was about 12. And we would kind of run a little bit here and there together, and then finally he just kind of decided he was going to help me, so.
I didn't want you to get me.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I've done it probably 10 years when she started doing it.
I'm close to the same now, because I started when I was 12, so I'm about 9, 10, so.
The second question is, what got you into it?
I think there was a novice class at Loganville, and so Dad was like asking me if I wanted to try it out since he's always up there, and we just kind of...
I think you started with like short course.
I started with a short course, then progressed, and now we run 8 scale, so...
Took over my 8 scale stuff, so...
The third question is, what's your favorite aspect of the hobby?
I think it's fun, like it's competitive and I enjoy a lot of like the competitiveness of it, but I think the people that you meet is really cool. I have a lot of really good friends I've met through it that me and Dad have both met through the whole hobby that we really enjoy seeing and hanging out with.
I'm actually getting to see some of the older generation that was here when I was around. Like the guy I was just talking to. That's back when the first Georgia series was around. So it's been quite some time, and there's a lot of new faces that come into this hobby.
I like to see all the kids kind of take over too. See all the like younger kids just like start really small and then just get really good. So that's like my favorite thing too.
And then the last question is what vehicle you
Probably 8-scale nitro buggy. I run that the most, and I think I really enjoy trucking, but I think that if I want to try and get faster and run with the faster guys, I think 8-scale buggy is probably the best class to run.
All right. Got it. Next up, we spoke with Lee Muse and Cade Burnett. Since I've been going to Loganville, Lee has been a great wealth of knowledge for me as I've recently just got my first 8-scale nitro.
And Cade is quickly becoming a driver to contend with and is a rapidly rising star in this hobby. The first question is, how long have you been into RC?
I've been into RC about 2 years now, and it's I like it, and it's really fun and enjoyable.
Second question is, what got you into it?
My dad, for sure, he started a year before I did, so he got me into it the second year he's getting into this. So, I mean, it's really fun, and we enjoy it as like a father-son hobby.
What's your favorite aspect of the hobby?
Really just kind of racing with other people and having a great time. Just messing around with cars, toy cars.
What's your favorite vehicle to run?
My favorite vehicle is probably 10-scale four-wheel drive, which is my B64D Team Associated, and it's a really great car.
Who do you run for?
I run for Team Associated. I'm sponsored by Team Associated, Reedy, AK, and Vernon Modified Motors. And they're really great sponsors, and they help out a lot.
Thank you. I just have a few questions. How long have you been into RC?
My son saw him and pointed him out to me when he was a little over a year old, and he just turned 40. So 39 years. I keep getting worse every year, but I love it.
What got you into it?
I've always liked cars, and this way you don't have to spend way too much money on a full-size car, and you don't get any traffic tickets from enjoying a full-size car. You'll race, have fun with your friends. And, it's just great. I love it.
What's your favorite aspect of the hobby?
I think I like the mechanical side of it, trying to figure out how to make it work better. And I like experimenting with different settings on the car.
What's your favorite vehicle to run?
Well, I like this one right here. It's a Kyosho. I love this car. It's tough, easy to drive, makes me look better than I am.
The next two are a couple of really great gentlemen to talk to.
Yes, Frank Sosby and Demetrius Blunt shared some great stories.
That they did.
Sorry, I got all excited.
I know, we got through that one.
Yeah.
Got through a whole page like that. All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's just 4 questions. The first question is, how long have you been into RC?
I've been doing it since 2001, so this will be my 19th year.
Robbie Meyer, you are done.
Second question, what got you into it?
Jackson done.
I don't know.
Jackson White,
I
you
saw
are
some
done.
stuff I liked at RC stuff one time.
Go ahead,
Saw him
Robbie
racing in the
Meyer.
parking lot.
Jackson
Said I'm going to go
White,
try it.
Johnson
And
have done. Tyler
started that
Bell, you
way,
are
and that's
done.
how it started.
Jones, you are done. Waiting on
The
Kevin
third question,
Gossett.
what's your favorite
Kevin
aspect
Gossett.
of the hobby?
Kevin, you're done. Colin, you are done. All
Yes.
the race guys, that is
The
the race.
friendships, the things we do, we go places, we travel
The
together,
race
we
is
see places
completed.
together, so we're always doing
All right,
stuff that
guys,
way.
sit your
And
radios
it's always
and
good to hang out with your
cars down
friends and
table
stuff.
behind the
That's the best
driver's
part.
stand and head out to
And then
corner
the last
marshal.
question, what's your
I
favorite
will give
vehicle
you your
to run?
corner marshal numbers when you get out on the track.
I run so many different ones right now.
Race number 2.
I don't know. I think my favorite is probably a Lab 803. It's a on-road A-scale.
Silver Toyota car.
And nitro car. They run, 65, 70 miles an hour, and we run on big paved track. That's probably my favorite one. And it's fun.
They cannot get
I like
out.
running this too, but
move.
this is like, I'm kind of like a rookie at this, but my other stuff is on-road stuff, so we do that.
Okay, so the first question is, how long have you been into RC?
Well, I'm running the
40-plus class, and I've been racing since I was 19. Well over 20 years now.
The second question is, what got you into it?
As a kid, I just loved remote control cars. And I so happened to were getting my real car fixed, and there was a guy at the auto parts store who had a remote control car, and I bought it from him right then. That's how I got in.
Third question is, what's your favorite aspect of the hobby? What's your favorite aspect of the hobby?
The friendship. Getting to know many people. Over the years, I've gotten to know people from all walks of life. So that's the best part about it. Finding friends.
And then the last question is, what's your favorite vehicle to ride?
I'm a 10-scale gas guy. So 10-scale Oro gas is my favorite class. So I love all of it, but 10-scale gas is my favorite.
There's definitely a consistent theme through these interviews. I believe they've all mentioned about what they enjoy most in this hobby, and that's the friendships that they've made over the years. And of all the years that I've been in the RC hobby, from boats, planes, and even racing quads, there's a fellowship that you just don't see as often or as strong in other parts of this hobby.
Our last two interviews we want to present were with Robbie Malfers and the manager of Region 3 for Team Associated, Brandon Melton.
And Robbie, he's such a great guy to talk to. He's always been willing to help anyone that asks.
Okay. So the first question is, how long have you been into RC?
I've been racing since 1987. About 32 years now.
What got you into it?
My dad got me into it. I was in a lot of trouble as a kid. Hang out in the wrong crowds. A lot of the guys I was hanging out with are in prison for life on triple murders and everything else. So my dad got me into it, helped me out. And once I got into it, never looked back. It's actually, RC racing has saved my life. Without it, I would either be in prison for life or I'd be dead by now.
What's your favorite aspect of the hobby?
The people, the friendships, the bonds. I've been racing with some of these guys for so long. They're out here now. It's just 20, 30-year friendships. It's just, you can't beat it. There's nothing like the RC community. It don't matter how much money you have, how broke you are, everybody joins together to help each other out.
And then, what's your favorite vehicle to ride?
Right now, I can say the SOAR car. It's a very consistent car for me. It fits my driving style. I've driven a lot of cars, and I'm really liking it.
Thank you. Okay, I just have a few questions. Sure. The first question is, how long have you been into RC?
I've been racing for 22 years. Started as a teenager.
What got you into it?
We were actually trading baseball cards as kids, and we would go to the Hobby Town USA by our house and get a lot of cards and sleeves and like covers for them. And saw the cars there, and me and a couple buddies got one for Christmas, and after we got one, we just started racing them.
What's your favorite aspect of the hobby?
Probably just the camaraderie amongst everybody hanging out at the track. The competition's nice, and always trying to do better is nice, but just like guys who golf or go fishing or whatever, I think it's more so just a time spending with your buddies and other people.
What's your favorite vehicle to ride?
8-scale nitro buggy. I don't run much truck, but 8-scale nitro buggy is probably my favorite.
Okay, I have two more questions.
All
Yeah,
good.
just for you. It's just two
All
questions.
good.
How long have you been with Team Associated? What do you do for it?
I started racing with Team Associated in 2007, I think it was, and started out just driving, and then they kind of regionalized some of the supervision, kind of developing like regional and support level teams. So I oversee the support level team for North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee.
Are you always looking for new drivers to possibly sponsor? If so, what do you look for in a driver?
We do. We really don't do much of like an open resume or open application process, but kind of what we look for is either like a seasoned veteran who, may not run up front or be the best guy, but they're really knowledgeable with the cars, and they can always help newer racers or people with product questions. Then on the flip side, one thing we really like to do is get kind of younger drivers who prove that they're getting the skill set to get better and putting in a lot of effort. And kind of try to get those drivers while they're young and coach them up and kind of see how good they can become going forward after that.
Okay, thank you. That's all we have to present to you in our first show of Inside the S.O.S, but we have so much planned and in store for you in upcoming episodes during the 2019 season.
And yes, on our next episode, we're going to discuss the next race coming up on July 13th, round 3 at S&BRC in Piedmont, South Carolina.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to let us know what you think of the show, or let us know what you'd like to see us cover on upcoming episodes here on Inside the S.O.S. Ew. Please don't do that.
I thought that was just funny.
You look like a superhero.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
All right.